Welcome to Hope Channel International. In this video, you'll learn what the mighty stone represents in Nebuchadnezzar's famous dream.
I have a question about the stone. Is it God himself? Does the stone represent him?
Okay, what does the stone represent? Is the stone God himself? Pastor Batchelor, what do you think about that one?
Well, Jesus said, these words that I speak unto you, he compares them to a rock foundation. He that hears these words of mine and does them, I should say, is like a wise man who builds on a rock. 10 Commandments were written on stone. Christ is called the rock. And so, Jesus even said, Peter, on this rock. He wasn't talking about Peter. He was talking about the truth of his word. So Christ is the word. Right. And so it's really Christ, the Word, that defeats the enemy. And if you wanted to ask, is the stone God? Well, Jesus is God the Son. So in that sense,
sure.
Yes.
Sure, and he's the cornerstone. And,
right.
and it says right here in the prophecy that the stone represents this kingdom, which God, it says in verse 44, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. Well, there's only one kingdom that lasts forever and ever and ever. And isn't it in Matthew 25, it says that God sets up that kingdom when the Son of Man returns in His glory.
That's right.
And sits on the throne of His glory. So, yeah, I mean, the stone is Jesus Christ, who is God, and represents the second coming of Christ.
I also think it's relevant. It says there is a stone cut out of a mountain without hands. And the reason it emphasizes without hands is Moses said that when they built their altar, they were to use rough stone. They were not to lift up their tool on it. In other words, they'd be tempted to make idols out of this altar. But it was really to be worshiping God. And so when it says this stone made without man's hands, it's contrasting it to the idol that is a man-made religion. So it's really God and His kingdom and the false kingdoms of the world, and one obliterates the other.
It's astounding. It's a kingdom I can't wait for. I'm actually, frankly, tired of the kingdoms of this world.